Hi everyone. It's been a while since I've done a video, so I thought that since, gosh, there's been so much going around about me, that maybe it was time for me to just say a few things to all of you guys. I first want to let you all know that no matter what you hear or what people are saying about me and Charles became good friends, and I have plenty of things I can show you guys to prove that. So all these people like Shane, Nancy, Amelia, Darren, and Rick, this group of people, I believe, is what's called a network. I believe these people have been placed around Charles' situation for a very specific reason. Namely Nancy and Rick, for sure. Shane, also I'm almost 99% positive he takes the same type of role. And for those of you who have heard the conversation between the agent and myself about Charles Dyer, that was during the time he was on the run, and I had already removed him. And that's the reason why I was not telling the truth to the Fed at the time, because I didn't want to give Charles away. I didn't give him away. So I kept my promise to him. His life was in danger. He was in fear for his life. I was in fear for him. And then I became, and still am, in fear for my own safety now at this point. I had been completely alienated and shoved out of this support group for a reason. I've done nothing to these people for them to act the way that they do. I never harass anyone. I have only tried my best on the sidelines to help Mrs. Dyer. And I have all the proof I'm going to show you guys that is the absolute truth. Okay? So all these things that these people have been saying, like, I've been going against the wishes of the family, I've stolen, I've hurt Charles's case, all of that is absolutely not true. Yes, Mrs. Dyer gave a statement on the News Colony media show. And we have to put ourselves in Mrs. Dyer's place, okay? Mrs. Dyer has gotten very close to Rick and very close to Nancy. Okay, so for her to actually listen to my information and open her mind up to possibly accept what I say as being truthful, I think it's just too hard on her, because it's too close. And the information that I shared with her after I incriminated myself, basically, that's when I decided to go public and let everyone know that I was the one that removed Charles for a very good reason. And my part in this, I believe, displays a very suspicious and very dangerous role of the corrupt part of our federal government, who are, I believe, targeted Charles Dyer. I believe they targeted Charles Dyer, and they wanted him to shut up, and it looks like they're going to get their way if something doesn't change. So we all know that this is what they do to people who are outspoken. And I'm concerned for my own situation now because of another statement that was made online saying that Mrs. Dyer, through Amelia Foxwell, said that the family now does not believe that this is any sort of government setup or any sort of government conspiracy against Charles Dyer. And I'm not sure why she said that. Mrs. Janet said that, but that's really concerning to me, because we all know, we could see the evidence right in front of our face, that this is, the FBI should not be involved. And for the government to pull Mrs. Dyer aside through Agent Gene Poole from the Washington, D.C., for this man to pull Mrs. Dyer aside and tell her that if she does not cooperate with them, that they can make her son go away for up to 40 years. And the same person pulled Charles aside and said, we have a list of objectives that if you'll follow for us, within 2 years, this all can go away. They can make all this go away if Charles would have agreed to this list of objectives to help infiltrate the militia movement. And these are from Charles's words himself, and Mrs. Dyer's words herself. So I'm not sure what's happened, but I'm concerned also for myself, because I've been trying to expose, and I have been exposing, the corruption. This is very, very, very damaging stuff to our judicial system. But we have got to start seeing what's going on and taking some interest in this by helping, not just posting stuff on the internet. I'm talking about helping by filing complaints and letting these departments and these public servants know that we are paying attention and that we're watching, and that we demand for this to be a fair trial and everyone to receive a fair trial, and that this should not be going this way. So that's where my concern is because the first trial did not go fairly for Charles. And I don't know why we haven't, or I'm not sure why that they have not still filed against the judge for his judicial misconduct, the attorney for prosecutorial misconduct, Charles' attorney for unethical and going against his fiduciary duties as an attorney. He didn't work for Charles. He didn't do anything in Charles's defense during the first trial. I'm speaking about Mr. Hammond right now. Okay, the judge completely violated Charles's rights. DHS stole the child. I mean, I could sit here and talk about a mile-long list of things that did not go right for Charles. And there's Supreme Court law that shows that if things like this happen, the government reverses the charge and things get dropped. We all know he didn't abuse his daughter, okay? We all know this. The evidence shows that he didn't. So for this trial that's going to happen tomorrow, and for no one to talk about the corruption and the abuse of power and the lives that the Federal Bureau of Investigations put in danger, including my own, and the harassment and the complete violating all of us. You know, with Monica sitting over here, that supposedly she's being accused of burning the house down. She's saying that she did not burn the house down. Jonathan Scott, I thought, was the one that burned the house down. I mean, I don't know. And now there's rumors saying that I burnt the house down. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. I didn't burn the house down. I don't think Monica, I don't know who burnt the house down. But this is just complete a kangaroo court. And we cannot let these people just do as they wish. And I hope to God that something happens good for Charles before tomorrow. And he has a good jury. And he gets off of this. Because if he gets convicted, then all this stuff is going to be, the abuse of this district and the abuse of power is going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And we cannot allow this to continue this way. It is absolutely wrong, and this is not the way our courts or our system is supposed to be set up like this. The FBI had zero and still have zero jurisdiction in Charles Dyers' case, period. And all of you out there who are defending the FBI and are saying that I should be arrested for helping Charles, I mean, what's really going on here? Anyone that's going to say that I should be arrested for helping Charles is an enemy to me. Anyone that's taking the defense of the FBI, saying that they acted lawfully and that they should arrest me, that's absolutely insane. I thought, when I chose to get involved in this with Charles, I thought that I would have had the family support, and over a very short time, I assumed that the family would see my actions and see who's good and who's not good. And this group of people, just look at the actions of each of them. I'm going to be continuing to put up the proof to show you guys what's going on. This network, they're bad. So if we all believe that Charles is being set up by the government, we cannot sit down and not possibly think that the government has not planted certain individuals around the situation to collect information, to disrupt, cause confusion, and destroy anything from ever going viral for Charles Dyer. And that's exactly what's happened. For all of the efforts that I was trying to attempt to do for him, that Charles and I discussed before he left, every one of them got sabotaged. And then my actions are being twisted into criminal actions that I did not do. I never stole any money from this family, not one penny. I never threatened the attorney's life to shoot him, for Christ's sake. They're saying that I was threatening to shoot the attorney. Who's saying that? Amelia, Rick, Nancy, Shane, Darren. All these 5 people know that's a lie. So that makes you have to stop and wonder, why on earth are these people so loyal to one another and have so much focus on me to destroy me? And to use the one playing card they have to use now is Mrs. Dyer's statement that she said about me. And it makes me very sad that she feels this way of me, but I know deep down that she knows something ain't right. And for anyone to accept the behavior that Shane and Rick and all these people are doing to me, I mean, they're completely slandering me, and it's for a reason. It's for a very important reason. It's not just infighting or drama. This is much, 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 much more serious than that. This is about a very specifically placed group of people, and they'll never admit it. You just have to look at the actions. And if you listen to that recording, I was talking to Agent Western, and Rick Light was brought up. For any FBI agent to take that much time in defending a man that he supposedly, isn't connected to, just doesn't make any sense. He really, really, really wanted me to believe that Rick and Charles are really close, and that Rick Light is special to Charles. I mean, why would an FBI agent be taking that much time to explain someone else's relationship? A militia man at that. Rick supposedly is a militia organizer. So, and the feds hate militia. And this is the same Fed that just told me straight up that he believes Charles is guilty. So that is one of Charles's pursuers. He's speaking highly about Rick Light and wanting me to believe that Charles and Rick are such good friends. Something is very wrong, guys. Okay? And for Rick to work with the FBI, trying to find Charles, of course he's saying that Mrs. Dyers sent him out there. Mama Dyers sent Minuteman out to locate Charles. Well, that's just his trying to be his cover, because whether Mrs. Dyer asked Rick Light to find him or not, Charles was running for his life, and I did help him. Okay, so Rick has to make my actions out as demonizing them instead of looking at the situation, because it makes him look bad for trying to hunt him down at the same time I'm trying to help Charles get far away. And the reason why Charles left is not because he's guilty. It's because he had a corruption in every area he turned to. He had a corrupt situation here. He was not going to walk into the exact same situation the second time, knowing what's going to happen since what happened the first trial. That's what we were trying to do, is to give some time so I could take his information and take the truth for him and get it out to his people, the supporters, and hoping that you guys will get involved and help. Charles lost his faith in the system from the first trial. The system failed him. So I was trying to help him trust in the truth, and I would be his vehicle to get the truth out there for everyone to be able to look at it, since he had the gag order on him, and hoping that you guys would get more involved. Well, everything I tried to do got sabotaged, and I'm being threatened over and over and over again of being arrested, aiding and abetting. I put Charles' lives in danger. I stole money. I mean, all this crazy stuff. It's got to make you guys wonder. Something isn't right. I just pray to God that tomorrow goes well for Charles. And if it doesn't, we'll know who to ask what's going on. We'll know who to look at. Because the same group of people helped Mrs. Dyer find this attorney. And I hope to God, Mr. Hawk, I hope you do the right thing and present his evidence thoroughly, honestly, and go in there and demand that this is dropped, because there's nothing to hold Charles Dyer as these crimes that he's been charged with. There's nothing. There's nothing. And all the violations that's happened to Charles, this entire thing should be dropped, and the family should be given an apology, and all the money that's been lost should be returned to this family, because they did not deserve any of this. And yes, I know they've turned their backs on me, but that just shows you the kind of person I am. This is way bigger than even the Charles Dyer. This is about our entire Patriot movement. And if we can't come together and stand up for one guy, like it doesn't look like we can, this movement's in big trouble. Big trouble. Makes me very sad. Just pray for Charles tonight, everyone, and I deserve the same respect Charles, while fighting for Charles. All these accusations that have been said against me, there's nothing to prove any of it. It's all accusations. There's no proof of any of this stuff. But I've got proof to show you guys how these people are acting not like patriots, and what I believe they're acting against the patriot community. These people need to be exposed on every level of this situation. Peace out.